Look at our guns, look at our body armor, look at our plans to actually target federal agents. Haha! Alright, class, settle down and let me tell you a story. We know that people are fighting back against the current administration's migrant policies. But, as always, someone somewhere will always take it too far. So why don't we check this one out?
Here are the 10 alleged members of the North Texas Antifa terror cell accused of carrying out the attempted murder of the...
Holy crap. Alright, that one went big. I wasn't expecting that. Holy crap.
federal officers in, at a shooting terrorist attack at an ICE facility on 4th of July.
Alright.
Gentlemen, all of our problems in the world are created by two groups of people. So you got a bunch of these hoes all mad, starting some terrorist bullshit. Now they all got arrested. Well, fuck them. That's what they get, man. That's what they get. Now they in jail for their whole life. All their eyes look soulless. No, the thing is, and I tell you the truth, is that clowns like this probably went and did this shit. Look, they're going around, they're posting all this shit on the internet. They're posting all this on the internet. How are they posting this on the internet? I'll tell you how they're doing it. Is because that nothing happens. Because you got the government that's too fucking busy covering up the Epstein shit, and they're not going after these clowns.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Epstein shit. That tiff with Elon definitely did something.
Bro, if you give me and my moderation team the tools of the FBI database, and I'll put all these people in jail in a week.
Federal immigration agents are facing increased...
Those are fighting words.
...threats of violence after multiple incidents in Texas this week.
This is brutal, man.
Gunmen ambush officers right outside their building.
Madeline Rivera joins us live with the details. Good morning, Maddie.
People have been popping off on these ICE agents, and I said this shit was going to happen. Didn't I say this was going to happen? I'm going to tell you what's going to happen after this. Now what's going to happen is that you're going to get stricter rules and more suppression on speech. That's the next outcome.
Good morning. The Department
Probably.
of Homeland Security says the number of assaults against ICE agents has increased significantly. And there have been some high-profile incidents in just the last few days alone. Yesterday, a gunman was shot and killed after police say he started shooting at a Border Patrol annex in McAllen, Texas.
He didn't even kill anybody? Damn, bro, what a...
I mean, isn't that the point, with regards to the Trump shooter? They should all be glad that the people attempting this shit doesn't have training or military experience. Wasn't the same thing said about the Trump shooter? It's like he only got the gun that week before and he only tried to fire it that on the day itself. He only got like a training or where he went to the range on the same week. So of course he was going to miss. And well, now you have people going all hard like this, acting like this, all of this stuff is supposed to be easy, but you know, they're not going to be successful for the simple reason that they don't have the training or they don't have the experience. Because most of these people, Antifa being, you know, anti-fascists, meaning they are against the establishment that actually provides these weapons and these type of training. So they probably wouldn't be part of the military or the police, at least, you know, most of them. There are some, but not most.
The suspect was identified as 27-year-old Ryan Lewis Mosqueda. The attack in McAllen came days after another violent incident in Texas, just outside of Dallas. Authorities say an officer from Alvarado was shot in.
People don't understand, like, this shit is, this shit's real. It is.
Yes, it is.
And I've been trying to warn about this.
And this is not the way to handle it.
Really? I've been trying to warn about this.
The neck after several people opened fire on officers outside the Prairieland Detention Center.
I blame Trump, not because his policy is what he's done politically, but his cult of personality that fractured the American people in the political system.
Yeah.
Well, I personally would blame the people shooting the guns.
Legally speaking, there's this legal principle called the proximate cost doctrine. In other words, he who started, the felonious act is responsible for it. So he's right. I mean, legally speaking, the people shooting the guns at federal agents are to be blamed for it because, number one, it's against the law to shoot at federal officers.
I would blame the people shooting the guns personally.
Yeah.
Who's to blame for people shooting guns? It would be the people shooting the guns.
Yeah.
That's my viewpoint.
That's legally sound.
Is an ICE facility. The Justice Department
That's
is
me.
calling this an organized ambush, adding that some of the suspects were wearing body armor and had two-way radios.
Yeah, body armor, two-way radios, but no military training or experience. So,
People were charged.
Just like that
DHS
Trump
tells Fox
shooter.
assaults against ICE agents are up nearly 700% over the same time last year. Last year, there were 10 assaults from January to June. This year, there have been 79 assaults within the same time frame.
You're 100% right about that, but the country's fractured and I want to blame somebody. You should blame the media for doing this. And you should blame politicians and you should blame social media companies for profiting off of it and allowing extremism and violent rhetoric to continue. Like, do you want to know how to make this stop happening? Find these people's social media accounts and then figure out whether they got reported or not. Investigate the company. Figure out if somebody at the company decided not to ban them. If that person decided not to ban them, then you hold that person as an accessory for murder.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. That would stop immediately. I know it sounds crazy, but I am the kind of person, my solution to almost all problems are immediate. That is crazy. You can call me crazy, but you can't say I'm wrong. It would work.
Well, most of these people are somewhat young, so in a sense, their whole thing relies on social media. I mean, they didn't have to post up. Look at our guns, look at our body armor, look at our plans to actually target federal agents. Haha. Yeah, he's right. I mean, I'm pretty sure most or some of these people are already under a watch list. So, yeah.
I've been warning about this for 2 months. The ramped up rhetoric is going to cause a situation where someone loses their life. We saw that today. I was hoping I'd be wrong, but I wasn't. And I'll tell you something else. It's not the end. Unless we stop the hateful rhetoric against ICE and Border Patrol, comparing them to Nazis, there's going to be more situations like that.
That's right.
The attacks in
100%
Texas remain under investigation, and officials say anyone involved in attacking law enforcement will be prosecuted to the
It's not enough.
fullest extent. Griff, Emily,
You
and
have
Charles.
to stop the propagators, because the people that go out and do this stuff are generally just like your run-of-the-mill, disaffected, mentally ill, sidelined social reject retard. Like that's not really a big deal. Like, you're gonna have people like that. You have to stop the people where it's coming from. Accountability is lacking. So how about corporal punishment like Singapore?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely support that for sure.
As they should. Matty Rivera,
Yes, Matty.
thank you very much.
You know, the thing to remember here is that these ICE agents, they are doing exactly what elected legislators.
They're simply doing their jobs as ordered. But then again, the argument against that is that, well, so was the Gestapo.
Legislators are ordering them to do. They are enforcing the laws that have been duly enacted.
By popular vote, mind you. These policies were brought on by popular vote.
Enacted by the legislature. And Democrats spent a lot of time talking about law and order.
So clearly the concept of that silent majority definitely exists. Richard Nixon, was it? He was the one who came up with, he simply looked at the TV, he looked up at the camera and says, to the silent majority, and boom, there we are. Because we can definitely say that they're facing a somewhat noisy minority.
And the idea that these people are paying the price for enforcing the laws that Democrats helped put on the books is unconscionable. And I think we're at a position right now.
Well, they just lost the vote. I mean, sometimes you lose the vote. Things don't go your way. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
That's life.
Where, Democrat lawmakers have allowed this problem to metastasize, and they don't know how to control what they've created. And so you have these scenes like the one we saw yesterday where you have Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, marching out into the streets trying to interfere with ICE operations. And at some point, an adult in the Democrat Party is going to have to stand up and say, we do not stand for this.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, the threat.
No, that's not going to work. It won't work. You have to arrest them. You have to arrest them for conspiracy. Because until you stop people from doing it at the beginning, it's going to keep happening. Like, basically,
but legally speaking, you can't stop, people from doing it at the beginning, at its inception. You can't stop people from talking that, hey, let's make a plan on attacking these ICE agents. Hey, let's post our guns and our body armors that we're going to use to attack ICE agents. That's literally under the First Amendment, freedom of speech. But I'm pretty sure that these people were already under a watch list. You can't stop something at the inception. Legally speaking, you can't stop something at its inception or at the beginning for the simple reason that the whole thing isn't illegal yet. That is the promise of freedom that America has provided. That is the promise of due process, that you will only be arrested and charged for actual felonies that have been, defined by law.
All they're doing is reacting to problems, and what they need to do is be...
Unfortunately, that's what the law is.
Proactive to problems.
Environment against federal
she's a
law
retard.
enforcement
What do you expect?
has possibly never been higher than right now. Now, why is that?
2020 was worse,
It's because the rhetoric of the Democrats are not coming down. Do you have Hakeem Jeffries in Washington, the leader of the Democrats in the House of Representatives, likening ICE to Nazis? You've got Karen Bass.
Here's another thing that's going to happen. This is going to be a bonus event, is that you're going to have right-wing people that are going to start killing these Democrats too. They're going to see somebody like Kyle Rittenhouse and be like, oh, I'm going to go do that myself.
Yeah.
And like, that's what's going to start happening.
Whatever happened to that dude? I mean, this team, for him to be arrested or to get arrested, literally went down when people found out that he shot like a guy that had pedophile charges against him or something like that. Could someone please put it down in the comments?
Because like, and this is...
I mean, that dude literally got lucky that the guy he shot at turned out to be some sort of a pedophile or something.
Thing is, like, these people think that like they have a monopoly on violence. No, they don't. I mean, a lot of right-wing people have guns.
Yeah.
They better not.
See, that's what I've been saying before, that the Democratic Party or the liberals that are completely against Trump right now are so lucky that it's not the other way around, because, most of these people are anti-establishment, and most of these people definitely wouldn't have experience with the military or firearms, because you know what, they're anti-firearms or they're anti-firearms, which means that they probably had no idea how to operate it or how to hold it. That's how the Trump shooter failed. I mean, they're trying to basically, gear up for a civil war. No, I mean, honey, those pink boots, that face mask, I remember there was this girl, 100 Nazi scalps or something. No, it's not gonna work simply because you did Taibo months ago. You're literally facing people with years with military experience and with military training. You're not gonna magically like that guy, or I've seen the posts where if these ICE agents come down, I'm gonna show them why I'm under medication. Really, a guy under mental medication is going to go up against people with military or police training, armed to the teeth, no less?
No, I mean, it already happened. I don't think they'll ever do anything. I think so. Like Luigi, kind of, yeah. Bro, stop slandering Rittenhouse. Slandering? I'm saying that he went out and he killed people that were causing...
Yeah.
I support Kyle Rittenhouse.
I
totally support him. I think what he did was great.
But then again, to the eyes of the law, he was quote-unquote innocent and he was let free. I mean, he even took that... He even took the ASVAB, right?
People are parasites. Didn't he just like randomly shot one of the guys? Wasn't one of the guys a pedo? Who cares? Kyle W. I don't care about that at all.
Yeah, he got away with that. He was about to be crucified. By the public for shooting at people until that one of the dudes he shot turned out to be a pedo.
Yeah, that's his example. Like what I'm using is but that's my whole point though, right? Is that he shot those guys and everybody saw him as the good guy. They saw him as the good guy. Most people did.
Yeah.
As in California, you've also got in San Diego a city councilman a month ago.
I understand some people, but it was self-defense. People aren't going to see it. You think like you think. You can't think like a crazy person thinks. I can. At the end of the day, this guy did something really bad and he got props for it. That's the only way that people like that are going to break it down. That's the reason.
Calling, writing terrorist over ICE enforcement officers, saying, the community should fight back. You've got a member of Congress getting arrested at Newark. I mean, it's almost as if
these people are saying that the community should fight back. No, that's going to be a disaster. Right? No military training, no military experience, and then you're going to try and fight back? I mean, there will be some that has that experience or that has that training, but as for the rest of you, no, I mean, not gonna happen. Don't do it, all right? File those cases. Use your strengths. Go through the whole social media thing.
They're choosing that as a playbook to double down. I thought it was interesting. Axios had a piece talking to unnamed sources who are Democrats, saying that they want to pretty much just keep ramping it up and double down on that card. Here's a little bit of what they found out about this anti-Trump, anti-ICE resistance in Axios. Democrats telling people to get shot for this. Here's the quote. The grassroots wants more. Some of them have suggested what we really need to do is be willing to get shot when visiting ICE facilities or federal agencies. A third House Democrat
this is bad.
told Axios.
That's bad. It's like swap for a kill.
Every single time.
Believable. Here was White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt yesterday responding to that.
It's hard to believe anyone with morals in this country or decency would say such a thing. Obviously, the White House condemns that rhetoric, and we condemn violence of any kind. This administration is simply trying to enforce our laws, and we must be a nation of law and order. You cannot simply waltz across our border and live here illegally and expect to stay. We are going to enforce our nation's laws, and the men and women who are doing that are doing so in a respectful way. They are doing so within the confines of the law, and they are just trying to do their jobs. And we condemn any violence or any calls for violence of any kind against any American.
In the press,
it should be that simple, but for them, it's not.
That was bad, though.
Is because they want to
just
use
get in there and hope you get shot.
Force people into believing what they think. They already lost the intellectual war on social media because social media is no longer curated and censored on their behalf. And so what they've resorted to instead of that is being violent.
That's what they lost through Elon Musk siding with Trump.
That's it. They want the Patriot Act Part 2. I'm telling you.
Secretary speaks. It is so clear and concise and in such stark contrast to those Democratic legislators who are responsible for much of the legislation that is being enforced, that with such mealy-mouthed and upticked rhetoric advocate for violence. And they use this hyperbolic speech.
You've had people that's never been punched in the face advocating for violence. That's the problem. Right? You have people that still have romantic notions of violence, calling for violence. Pink boots. Flowers in Antarctica or flowers in the Sahara or something. No, violence is not the answer. Especially if you've never seen it. You're going up against people that have been trained and that has experience in violence. No, don't do it.
That has zero place in our society right now, likening ICE to fascism, likening the president to Hitler, and worse. And they also are, I'll say they aren't even subtle about it. I mean, they are calling actively.
Yeah, they go out and they say this themselves. And so if they're not subtle about it and everybody sees it and everybody knows it, then why are they getting away with it? That's really the problem. That's the problem. The problem is in plain
They're getting away with it because it's not a felony yet.
sight.
But these people, that terrorist cell turned it into a felony. They literally went too far. You know, post about pink boots, post about, you know, how to cover your face. Yeah, go ahead. That's free speech.
But nobody wants to address it.
To dox ICE agents. They are cheering that app that will obstruct justice and render
You
vulnerable.
don't see anything wrong with masks and plain clothes? No, not really. I mean, as long as they're actual official agents, yeah, sure, I'd be fine with that. There's plenty of undercover police officers. They do that all the time. Like, you're acting like, no, I don't see a problem with it at all. Absolutely not.
The ICE agents even more. How
Legally speaking, or, you know, ethically, in terms of ethics, actually, there's no ethics in it. As long as the federal agents, or as long as the forces of the state clearly identify themselves as police, ICE, whatever, they're fine. They are not obligated by law or by the Constitution to actually show their face when enforcing their jobs.
far will they go? I mean, you read it just then. They want to get shot because they are only about performative stunts for their elite petri dish that is so insular, and they have no idea what real Americans go through, which is their loved
Go
ones
out there
are
and
out.
get shot. Someone else better do it, not me though. I mean, it's the logic behind
three
it.
people have asked that question. You're not responsible for differentiating. You're not. The people who are responsible are the police. So if you feel like something like this is happening in your area and you're worried about it happening, then you should call the police, dial 911 and say, hey, there are a bunch of masked men here that are abducting people. Please get over here real quick. And if it's a problem and it's not, an agency, then the police will go over there, right? I mean, obviously, that's what, like, the entire idea that, like, you being able to differentiate implies that, like, you're going to stop them in the first place. You can't go and stop them and do that. That's crazy.
Yeah, you
Their
can.
loved ones are ICE agents.
Let the government deal with the government. I guess that's what he's trying to say. Because trying to stop ICE yourselves, that you've never been in a fight, and your training consists of watching TikTok videos on how to put up a mask, 100 Nazi scalps. Yeah, it's not gonna work there. Don't do it, alright? Stick to social media, stick to your cameras, and do what Gandhi did. That's the best way. If the best thing you have or the best weapon you've had are TikTok videos, do what Gandhi did.
Agents are part of the community. They are part of the fabric of American existence, and we support and respect and cherish them. And this all-out assault
Don't do
on them,
violence.
it has to stop before it gets worse.
And of course, the crimes that the ICE agents are trying to prevent by removing criminal aliens from our midst.
Yeah, I was a witness to an undercover operation where plainclothes cops stopped the murderer on the run, legging it away in a crowded town. They have the element of surprise to get closer to the criminals to apprehend them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why, like, this entire idea of plainclothes officers wearing masks is some kind of like now everybody's acting like it's this existential threat.
No,
when
again,
how many movies have we watched where it's people that are infiltrating areas and trying to get into, like, different places, and it's a cop movie and they're not dressed up like police officers? It's nothing new. It's been going on forever.
Not legally obligated
Obviously,
to show
that's
face.
what you would do. Rush hour? Yeah, like, there's nothing new about this. It's not some sort of new issue at all.
Are happening in the neighborhoods where
That's what happened, though, if you don't face these issues. And that's not a justification. And, it's not a new issue at all. So something's happening wrong. If something's wrong, if something wrong is happening, you can't justify it by simply saying, it's not a new issue at all. No. That's not. I don't agree with that.
those people live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're the ones that are paying the brunt of it.
You
Protecting the
put a
monsters.
really important point, though, on something, Emily, and that is the human aspect. Can you imagine being the spouse of an ICE officer or Border Patrol agent, or the daughter or the son, knowing that this is what they're walking out in? The attack in Alvarado, Texas, 10 individuals.
This is why it's so bad, right? On our last post, on our last video that we covered, we talked about the chilling effect, despite the fact that ICE only affected a small percentage of quote-unquote illegal migrants. It had a chilling effect to millions, to thousands, millions of other quote-unquote illegal migrants. And that's the chilling effect, that they were afraid. And now, there's a chilling effect towards these government agents.
Individuals have now been charged with attempted murder of a federal officer because 20 to 30 rounds from an AK-47 or assault rifle of some sort was fired at officers.
And they didn't hit a single person? What a fucking retard. Oh my God.
Again, just like the Trump shooter, these people don't have actual military training or military experience. They're not going to hit anything.
What a moron.
Yeah.
Jesus.
They had bulletproof vests, they had body armor, and you know, we're at a point now where there should be bipartisan calls to tone it down, yet there isn't.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I thought they missed everything. Oh, fuck. Yeah, that's awful then.
Yeah.
Yeah, AK is wildly inaccurate. Is that true, or is that just in video games? Like, I don't even know if that's true or not. There's the video. One officer got shot in the knee. Yeah, there it is. Well, anyway, I think this is a huge issue. I really do. I've been a very big advocate against this kind of stuff for a while. And I do really think that at a certain point, people like this do need to be held accountable. But right now, it seems like it's impossible for that to happen because so many people are, I don't know, they're afraid of the optics of it or something like that. I don't know what to say. Cartel said that they don't care and they'll just wait until Trump is out of the White House. Well, yeah, of course. Like, they don't want to deal with him. Like, of course not. Why would they? How would you solve the political divide? It's simple.
We don't solve the political divide. We live with it.
You find the people that are expressing violent rhetoric and then you just put them in jail. It's simple. Like,
both sides provide violent rhetoric.
You find them, and that's the first way to do it, is that you put the people that are pushing it in jail. You get rid of them. And yeah, you remove the well, it's not even agitators. Like, I'm not even talking about agitators. I'm talking about like people that are like advocating for like killing people. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, if you think ICE is like bad, then like you should go to jail. No. But the people that are advocating for like shooting them, guns and everything like that, I think that's a big issue though.
Thank you for watching, guys. So if you want me to check out other stories here on YouTube, please let me know in the comments. We upload on the weekends, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Also, check out our Twitch channel where you can watch me do this live. And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do the whole notification button thing to help me out with the algo, and class dismissed.